This film breakdown is gonna be fun. What is up, Finn fans? Miami Dolphins. I'm recording this on a Saturday night. It's about 12:30, 12:18 on a Saturday night. But I couldn't wait till next week to do the film breakdown of the Dolphins' just 22-10 win on the Baltimore Ravens. It should have been a higher win. I don't think they should deserve that touchdown, but we'll talk about it. We'll point it out. All that good stuff. That's what this film breakdown is for. But real quick, before we jump into the film breakdown, I got to shout out some new members. Some of you guys joined during the live stream Thursday night, and a new patron. On the member side, we have Keith Ross, Corey Brown, Matt G, Kenneth Pittner, and Derek Dixon. And the new patron is Quentin Robinson. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon and the membership. Like I said, this one's probably going to be a long one, so the uncut version is going to be over on the Patreon. So if you're a Patreon, you get to see the uncut version of this, and the members and the rest of YouTube, you're going to see. I'm going to try to not make it too long. I know at some points it could be real boring and real redundant, so I'm going to try not to make it too long, but I have like 2.5 pages of timestamps before I want to talk about. So let me stop doing all this stupid talking and let's jump into it. Okay, so we're going to start out with some bad. And it ain't that bad, but it's something that bothered me a little bit. This is a run play to Freeman. And this is the reason why this bothered me is because he falls and he's allowed to get back up and actually gains yardage here. So I'm just going to play it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So it's going to be a handoff. He falls. His knees are not on the ground when he gets touched, even though the refs are garbage in this game. He's allowed to get up and get more yardage. This is nitpicky. This is me just because the defense played lights out. But this right here just bothered me that he was able to get as many yards as he did when he fell. But again, this is me being nitpicky for the rest of the game. They barely got any rushing yards. It's just like the man fell and then it just was able to get extra yards. It just bothered me. So this is the first time in the game that the Dolphins show this blitz. And they're down there. It's third down and 10. They have the ball on the Dolphins, 28-yard line. It's going to be, you have Sammy Watkins here. It's going to be a go route. He's covered by Coleman here. And if not for the pressure that gets on him, and if not for the blitz that's coming off the edge here, I think this is Javon Holland. He was just a disruption all game. It might have been a touchdown, but the fact that the blitzer gets to him, he forces him to make a throw off his back foot with pressure on him, and it becomes incomplete. The blitzer up here is going to get in free, and you could see he throws it off his back foot, because if not for that, if not for throwing it off your back foot when you're getting hit, he has him beat. Coleman's chasing Sammy Watkins, but he overthrows it because of the pressure that he gets from the blitz. And they dial this up a lot in this game. And this was the first time they dialed it up. And this was the perfect time to dial it up because forced a field goal sitting there at 3-0 versus 7-0 might have changed the game a little. So this is the screen to Albert Wilson here. And he's just going to drop back. They're going to drop it off to him, and about 3 linemen are going to get in front of him. And it's not a great screenplay because a lot of the blocks tend to not pick up, and he does get pressure in his face. But this is Albert Wilson showing what he could do if, I don't know if healthy or not. There's something off with Albert Wilson this year. Probably won't be on the team next year, but he still has that dynamic play to him. So he's going to drop back, and like I said, you're going to have 3 guys run out to block for him. And when he catches it, pushes him down, and then it should be a block on a block. Just break Calais Campbell. You're going to get a ton of yards. So he breaks Calais Campbell, and just horrible blocking, but he jukes and breaks people to get the first down. And again, that just shows what he could do when healthy. This is going to be the play to Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki was targeted a few times, but wasn't able to make any receptions here. It looks like it should be a corner route, but he runs it very just like fade-ish, if that makes any sense. And you'll see the pass is good, but I'll let you know when contact happens, and you tell me if it's pass interference, because he has time in the pocket. Steps up, has time in the pocket. Well, let me circle this for you guys. Because he has the underneath here. He has Shaheen here. Gesicki's covered. His man is already contacting him. Should have thrown it there. Should have thrown it up here. Even if I go back a little bit, it seems like that play was open even before the pressure got there. Play action. Boom. Drop it here. And again, it took us a while to get points on the board. Like, a while for us to get points on the board. Just drop it here, man. Right here. He still has time. Still had time to, like, just... Still to drop it here. Look at that contact. Just draped all over him. Should have been pass interference. We should have the ball right here. Holding, whatever you want to give us, but it should have been a first down. But you had that man open for so long. Play action, Stoom. Throw the ball. Okay, no. Throw the ball. Okay, no. Throw the ball. Okay, I'll throw it to Gesicki. So this is going to be a run play. And a lot of people ask me who's the odd man out in the tight end room, because, you know, we do have Hunter Long, and you don't, you know, draft the third round pick and let him sit forever. And I think it's Adam Shaheen. I think Adam Shaheen's the odd man out. I know they just gave him a contract extension. I'll talk more about this in the offseason on who's going and who's coming. But this is going to be a handoff to Gaskin, and Shaheen's going to come across and block 50. And it is the worst block I've ever seen. And it is the reason why there's a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And you'll see, all he does is he throws his body into his knees. If he blocks him, he's probably going to get some yards out of that. Also doesn't help that Austin Jackson, but it was just such a something I just wanted to point out. It was such a bad block. You didn't even, you barely stopped his momentum, and then you have Austin Jackson here. We're not going to talk about that. Just do better. So this is third down, and Jacoby Brissett's going to get sacked. And at first you want to say, and look where we are, right? We're on our own 45. He gets the first down, or he gets any type of yardage here, you know. Could pretend, again, it's a while until we score points. Right now it's still 3-0. My problem, and again, this is my biggest problem with Brissett, is there's guys open before he gets sacked. And I'm just going to let the play run, and I'll stop it when he has, like, I'll show you when he has a clean pocket, right? And we'll see who's open, right? Boom. Drops back. He still has a clean pocket. Still has a clean pocket. Now, at this point, you can throw it. Just dump it off here, man. Dump it off here. I know you're going to get pressure in your face. You're about to get hit. Dump it off to Gesicki right here. You know, you might have a chance to, you know, break up and get something. But he takes the sack. Right? Boom. He sees the guy coming, but you see, like, you are looking at Gesicki here. And it's not a first down, which drives me nuts that he doesn't run a curl up here. But it just throw it. Takes the sack. And that's the down. And I've noticed throughout the game he does that a lot. A lot. Again, it's not for a while till we score a touchdown. And it's because of the defense we score a touchdown. But, like, he's wide open. Just chuck the ball to him, see what happens, versus take a sack. Again, the score's still 3-0 because the offense is just stalling at this point. And, again, they're getting that blitz. And you're going to see, I think it's this receiver. He goes out. There's a quick out. And the reason I love this defense is normally uh, playing this far off drives me nuts. It absolutely drives me nuts. But when it comes to this blitz, right, the zero blitz that they send at them, I think this is fantastic. And this is the exact play why I love it so much. Normally, I want you to be up there. I want you to press. I want you to jam them. I want you to stop them, make them have to take a second or two to get off the jam or get off the block to get open in coverage, which then gives the pass rush and the blitz time to get the sack. I want that. But here, I love it, and this is why. You'll see. It's going to be a quick pass over here, and you'll see they swarm to the ball. Right, here comes number 5. Hollywood Brown comes over. Boom. So it's going to be a quick pass here, and these guys are going to block. But you have 3 defenders here. And they just swarm to them. And this is 3rd down to make the stop. That is what they did all game. They forced you, okay, you're going to throw these outside routes to try to stop the blitz, to get the pressure off you. We're just going to swarm the ball. 3rd and long, throw a quick outside route, throw a quick inside route. We'll just swarm the ball. Loved it. Love the defensive game plan for this game. Okay, so they just missed their field goal. You're welcome. I talked that into fruition. If you go back and watch my live stream, I talked that into fruition. And this is 1st down. And this play here is another. I don't like picking on Jacoby Brissett because it makes me look like I favorite one quarterback over the other. We'll see when Tua's, we start talking about Tua's playing. But he throws this ball away, and it drives me nuts because he has somebody open, right? He's going to have Isaiah Ford coming across here. It's only going to be 3 routes because it's going to be play action here. He's going to stay in the block. He has time. And what does he have time to do? He's looking for this route, which is going to be a post route. He's going to break off here, go this way. He's going to come in here. But look at Isaiah Ford. And then he gets flustered, and he wants to take off because he has that pressure in his face. Look to your left, man. Pressure in his face. Move to your left. You have all this room over here. He's got his block. Move to your left. But then he freaks out when he has Isaiah Ford right here. 1st down marker here. Isaiah Ford. He has the speed to get that 1st down. But he ends up throwing it away. Comes across. Play action. Boom. And the nickname that I hear for Tua is check down Tua. Well, at this point, obviously Tua will be looking the other way because he's a lefty. But, okay, nothing. I feel pressure. I'm going to check it down. Him, on the other hand, feels pressure, and he thinks I need to run for my life and throw the ball away. He had Isaiah Ford in the middle and at the bottom of the screen for plus yardage versus a throwaway on 1st down. Now it's 2nd down and long. Literally 2 plays later, it's 3rd and long now because we tried to do a pitch on 2nd down, went nowhere, and he misses a touchdown. And again, it's still 3-0. We have not scored any points here. Defense has been shutting down the Ravens offense. It is 3-0 now, and he misses Jalen Waddle for a touchdown here. So real quick, you'll see Gesicki's going to come on the inside here. You're going to have Waddle running a post route here. And I don't remember what Isaiah Ford runs. We'll see when the play goes. But he misses Ford, and he throws it when he feels pressure on himself, when he should have just stepped up, right? So they're sending pressure. They're sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're sending pressure his way, and they're only dropping 4 into coverage with 3 guys running routes. But he has time. Patrick Laird, wafts on his block. So you see Gesicki coming across the middle. So he thinks, let me step up, because he has time. Let me dump it off to Gesicki. Right? But he fell. He kind of fell in his route. And it's punched out incomplete pass. But if you look, if he just steps up more, because he has all this room here, right? If he steps up more, this guy was breaking. Probably because of the throw. But he had Waddle on the post that he could have tried to throw to. Or he had the in here that he could have tried to throw to. Gets it to Gesicki. Gesicki drops the ball again. Gesicki had a bad day. I think he was targeted like 7 times, drops. But I just wish he would step up. I wish he would, take real estate in the whole pocket. Step up, give yourself more time. Because this seemed to have been starting to open. But again, he starts to come down from the throw, so you never know. But it looks like that was going to start to open up. This play here shows how, we got a great pick in the second round. Our first pick in the second round at Javon Holland right here. Hollywood Brown is going to be running an in route. And he kind of runs it choppy. He tries to run around our defenders. And we're playing zone here. So, all of our defenders kind of are playing the zone here. Hollywood Brown's going to run around the back of the zone. And I'm going to point out Javon Holland through the whole thing because he gives him a cushion, but then he breaks on the ball and he does a great pass break up here. So Javon Holland's going to be the single high safety. And like I said, he's going to kind of run around the coverage because it's zone coverage. He's going to be over here to help Byron Jones on their coverage. And then once he realizes where the throw is going, right? So at this point, he realizes Lamar Jackson's throwing here. He already starts to break, right? He's starting to break on the ball as the ball's in the air and gets to it. Boom, breaks that up. We'll look at it from another angle so you could see. And he starts rowing on the sideline. We have our safety for the future. I absolutely love the way Javon Holland's playing, right? He's got time in the pocket, looking. We're playing zone, running behind the zone, throws it up there, breaks on the ball, boom, smacks it out, does a little rowing on the sideline. How you do? Would I have loved Javonte Williams? Of course. Am I upset that we got Javon Holland? Not at all. Kid's just going to be a star. To Albert Wilson, who then was going to pass it. This is probably the dumbest offensive play in this game, and we'll talk about some other plays that were crazy. I don't think they were dumb, but this one's just dumb because all you're going to have here is you're going to have Albert Wilson. He's going to come around. Jacoby Brissett's going to throw it to him, and then he's going to want to throw it to Javon Holland, Jalen Waddle, who's going to essentially run a curl route. See, why is Javon Holland running a curl route? Unless Javon Holland thought to himself, well, I'm not in single coverage anymore, so this play's kind of broken. But you'll see. It's just this play's dumb. Goes around, boom, tosses it to him, and then this is the only route being run. This right here. It's not like he's going to throw it back to Jacoby Brissett, who's like over here running a route. Because Jacoby Brissett's as slow as molasses. This is the only route. This is it. This is it. So he takes off running. And gets about 2-3 yards. What the hell was that? What was this? But why? So again, the offense stalls most of the time because of the quarterback play in my mind. But there is times where some of the play calling is dumb. Like right here. Why would you have one route out there running? Why don't you have the quarterback run the other way? Again, I get it because Jacoby Brissett's slow, but have somebody else run on the other side. Have him throw it. I'm pointing like you could see. Have someone run on the other side. Have him throw it there. Have multiple routes out here instead of just... Let's move on. This is, I think, third down. It's about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7. And this just shows that Jacoby Brissett, the pressure's getting to him. And I'm not talking about the pressure of the game. I'm not talking about the pressure of a win. I'm not talking about the pressure of being a starting NFL quarterback. I'm talking about pressure from the opposing defense. Because he gets flustered before it even gets to him. And then he forces a throw to Mike Gesicki that if he didn't get flustered, it's a first down. And again, they still haven't scored any points here. It's still 3-0. The offense is still consistently stalled. And you'll see here why. He just gets startled, right? So, like, no one's open. Clean pocket. Clean pocket. No one's engaged him. No one's engaged him yet. Blocking. Two on him. Blocking. Right? No one's open yet. But then watch. He looks and sees something and then starts to get flustered. What are you getting flustered from? What are you getting flustered from? Just step up. Watch. Flustered. Why? Step right here. You got this lane right here. Just step up in here. Give Gesicki time to continue running his route and dump it off to him, because he's got all of this real estate to make a big chunk play, because he's pretty fast for a tight end. But he gets flustered for some reason and then steps up there, throws it into the dirt. If he would have got it to him, look at all this space Gesicki had. I'll show it from the other side so you can see exactly what I'm talking about when he gets flustered for no reason. Flustered right there. See how he puts his head down? Why? Just step up here. Throws it right into the ground. I don't know. But again, if I'm going to point out your flaws, I'm also going to give you praise when you do well. You're going to have Waddle here. And I think he's supposed to... Oh, jeez. Look at that line. What was I doing there? I think he's just supposed to be running an out here. But he kind of curves it a little bit. He kind of stumbles. They need to get this man cleats. I've noticed he's been falling a lot, but he kind of stumbles, so he curves his route a little bit. But this is a good play by Jacoby Brissett. He gets pressure in his face. He avoids the pressure, rolls to his right, and makes a great throw to Waddle for a first down here. This is going to lead us to some points here. This is the drive that's going to lead us to some points. Again, kind of stumbles with pressure in his face, gets that ball off, puts it where it needs to be. First down. It's a great play. I'll show it from the other end. But great play on Jacoby Brissett. This time he feels the pressure at the right time and tries to get out of it, right? They send the blitz, tries to get out of it, and throws it. With pressure in his face, great pass. So like I said, you do bad, I'm going to point it out. You do good, I'm going to point it out. That's a great pass, especially with pressure in his face to keep the play going. And like I said, it's going to eventually get us to some points here. And we got to talk about this play. Adam Shaheen down the seam and just tosses it up for him, essentially. Tight ends are essentially basketball players. No one's open. You're going to have this guy coming across the middle, stumbles. Might have been a touchdown if you threw it to him, now that I think about it. Stares down Shaheen. His guy's... Oh. I was going to give Brissett some praise here, too. I was going to give Brissett some praise and say it was a great throw because he tosses it up, lets his man get the ball. But now that I'm looking at it, that's a touchdown. He's literally falling. He stared at him the whole way, too, didn't he? I want to give Brissett the credit where it's due. But he stares down, right? Boom. If he would just look. He doesn't look anywhere but Shaheen. If he would have just looked up here, his man is falling. He broke his ankles. I think this is Kirk Merritt. He broke his ankles. Or is this Matt Collins? I know they both wear their orange gloves. That's a touchdown. He's still waiting for Shaheen to get open. That's a touchdown. Because he falls. You get that ball to him, he's running in for a touchdown. Great catch from Shaheen. I love it. But, yeah, that is Mac Hollins. That's a touchdown. He missed a wide open touchdown. We could have been up 7-3 at this point. But unfortunately, a lot of faltering on the offensive line, which not the offensive line, just the offense in general, which then in turn causes us to just kick a field goal. So here again, it's 3rd and long, still 3-3 on defense here. And it's another situation where he's going to throw a quick pass out here. I think this is a Hollywood Brown again. And they're playing that defense. They're playing the zero blitz defense, playing on the first down marker. And he throws a quick pass thinking that's going to help them, drops back. And what does the defense do? They swarm. They swarm and just shut it down with Xavier Howard making a great tackle. Like, I love this defense. I don't understand why it took them so long to install it. I don't know why it took them so long to run it, because if they've been running this since, I'll give them week 3, we would have won so many more games just on the defense alone. Even though we've scored 20 points, 28 points, so more points than what we're doing now in different games, we would have won so many more games. This is an option play. Again, we just went 3 out and out on offense. I'm not going to bore you with consistently showing you the same stuff over and over again on the offense. But this is going to be a read option. So essentially, Baker's going to be the guy who needs to decide, is he going after Lamar Jackson or is he going after Devontae Freeman? And Lamar looks, and then he pitches it to Freeman. And this is why we have Jerome Baker. This is why we brought in Jalen Phillips. This is why we have these types of guys that are going to play on the line. Here's Jalen Phillips right here. Because they have the speed to, if you decide one or the other, they have the makeup speed. Because you'll see here, at this point, squares up and makes Lamar Jackson, you decide. So he thinks, well, he's going to get me because I have nowhere to go. I'm going to pitch it to Freeman. Freeman goes, and look at that closing speed. Stops him on 3rd down. His mama was there. Pretty sure his mom was at the game. Squares up. Chases him down. Love the tackle. Love the tackle. He didn't try to smack his feet together. He grabbed them at his waist, and he brought him down. Just loved it. And I loved how he chased him down. He had the speed to stop him from getting the first down. This is a play where, again, inconsistent. Jacoby Brissett, he's going to get pressure in his face, but he's going to throw the pass the way I want him or any quarterback to throw the pass. It's going to be Isaiah Ford here. He's going to be running a curl route. The first down, it's like 2nd and 10, incomplete on the first down. He's going to run a curl route about 13, 14 yards deep. And Brissett's going to get pressure in his face, but he's going to throw the ball before he comes back on the curl route. And I'll show you, right? He's got time. No one's really open. He's got Shaheen going out. That's his check down. Has a lane here so he can see where he's going. And he sees. It's one-on-one. This guy's already starting to feel that it's going upfield. Not going to be able to come on the comeback here. Throws it, right? Pressure in his face. He hasn't even planted his foot to go on the comeback. Already throws it. Perfect pass for the first down here. Again, I'm going to give you credit when you do something well, but I'm also going to point it out when you do something bad. First blown coverage that helps our offense out tremendously, because again, it's still 3-3 at this point. He's just going to be running a go route. I don't know if it was supposed to be a go route the entire time. This corner thinks that he has over-the-top safety help, and you might be looking at this like, why would he think that, Doug? It's a single high safety. Well, when I continue to play it, you'll see he drops back into coverage. So they have the 2 safety look. He thinks that he has 36 over the top to help him with Isaiah Ford, so he lets him go. Not realizing that this safety came down to stop this play, and it's a single high safety. So he just lets him go. Blown coverage. Takes it right down. He tries to break him. I wish he would have. Again, we needed those touchdowns, but knocks it down the field. But again, we stall on offense, ends up kicking the field goal, but 6-3 at halftime. I think this was about the around 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. So we tried to punch it in. We couldn't, and end up kicking the field goal 6-3 at half. So this is after the series where Jacoby Brissett gets hurt. And you look at it here, and you think to yourself, this is 2nd and 9. You think to yourself, they're sending that zero blitz. You got guys playing deep. You got the pressure coming here. And that's why consistently running it and having different versions of it, especially facing a rookie and Zach Wilson next week, is going to really mess with their head. because he thinks that they're going to send the house at him. So he's going to be throwing a screen to him. Xavier Howard plays perfectly on this, and it forces a sack here. So he's going to drop back for a screen here. But you see here, they only really sent three or four. These guys, and he breaks perfect on it because he's going to try to throw it here, but he has big man Emmanuel Ogba here to smack it down if he needs to, and he has him breaking on it. So, see, and essentially what is it? He just gets sacked. It's a great play. It shut down any possibility that the Ravens had on defense, on offense, anywhere. If he was going to keep it, he had to. It just was perfect. Run a screen. Think that they're sending everything at him. You have guys going out to block for the screen. It was just perfectly played on defense. So this is now Tua's in, and this is a bad throw by Tua. Why? Could it be his hand? Could it be the pressure? Could it be him backpedaling? Whatever it is, it was a bad throw because he has Gesicki wide open here. Drop him back to pass underneath. He actually has multiple options underneath. He's 1, 2, and 3 underneath. And he throws it, I don't know where. I don't know where I'm assuming he's trying to get it to him. And again, I don't know if it's the pressure that was going to get to him or if it was his finger. But he throws it so far behind Gesicki here. And this was second down that I don't know where he was trying to throw that. Let's see if we can see from this other angle. Because he does get pressure on him. They send 5. Liam Eichenberg struggled all game. It just seemed like a bad throw. Threw behind him. Bad throw. I'm wondering if it was finger bothering him, but regardless, it was a bad throw. This is one of the plays we all wanted to see here. This is the handoff flea flicker pass. So he's going to hand it off to Myles Gaskin, who's then going to throw it back to Tua Tagovailoa, who then is going to throw it back to Myles Gaskin. And at first I was like, what is this? But it worked so well, and you'll see why it worked so well. Because the defense, right, handoff here, and then he's going to toss it back to him. And at that point, right, they think, because when have you ever in the history of ever seen them throw it back here? Normally you'll throw it back here, right? Wilson down here, or you have, I don't know who this is, over here. He'll throw it deep. So what happens is they charge at him. You got the 3 guys putting their hands up, everything, charging at him. He sidearms it. And look at all this real estate. It's such a great play. All that real estate. And he just runs it down the field. I can't believe 74 caught him. And he's mad, too. He hits the ground. He gets mad there. But you never see that. Because once he threw it back to Tua, it's just a lot of this going after him. And he's just going to dump it right back to the running back for about 14 yards. It was a lot. I wish he would have got more. You know, Ellis came in and made the stop, but I was laughing while watching it, but it was great. I love the play. So this is the pass to Waddle, and this pass is it's a thing of beauty, and we're gonna look at it from multiple angles. I absolutely love this pass, and I wish Tua would do this consistently. I wish he would do this more often, because then all of a sudden he would look like the franchise quarterback that everyone hoped he was going to be, being picked number 5. But you have Waddle here. Waddle seems to be running kind of corner route or, whatever. He's going to go in and then he's going to come back around and out. And Tua gets enough time in the pocket, thank you offensive line, for him to be able to wait for Waddle's route to get open. But you can also see he doesn't really necessarily wait for Waddle's route to get open. You have Albert Wilson on the motion here, looking at Albert Wilson, looking over here, right? Could fit it through these guys to try to hit Gesicki. Look when he starts to throw it. He has enough time that he decides to throw it before he even comes out of his break, before he even looks at him. That's when he decides to throw it. And just got it right to him as soon as he possibly could. Right? Because this is a tight window. He could probably fit it through here. We've seen him do it before. Could drop it off to Albert Wilson here, but decides, nah, I got this, because his back is to him. Right to him. We'll look at it from another angle. So you can see him with time in the pocket. I love that it's this angle so we can see his eyes, to see him looking at different routes. Because remember, over here he's going to have Albert Wilson. Over here he's going to have Mike Gesicki. And then over here is where Waddle's going to be. He has 3 routes out there. Right? Boom. Looking over at Albert Wilson, he has that possibility. Boom. He's looking at Waddle, not open yet. See how he looked over at Gesicki? I went too far back. No, I did. Okay, good. Wilson, Waddle, and then threw it. There was Gesicki coming across. He had time to go through his progressions. 1, 2, butt it rep. I just want to see this more. I think everyone wants to see it more. So this is 2nd and goal. And the reason I'm showing this play is because the defense gets to it here. This defender right here, Tua thinks it's going to be an all-out pressure on him. He thinks it's going to be man-on-man, and he thinks that all of these guys are going to come after him. So he thinks he's going to have Gesicki on a slant across the middle. And I'll tell you why, right? As soon as the ball snapped, he comes in motion, he's going to slant across the middle. See how the defender's coming in because they think it's a play action? He thinks I have him one-on-one because he bit on the play action. And he does. Look when he throws it. He has him. He's got his man boxed up. He's all the way over here. It should be a touchdown. 56 just makes a great play on the ball. And just gets his hand up. Like, look at the high point that this man comes up and gets his hand on this ball. Right? Bites on the play action. Tua thinks, got him. Look at this. Just gets up there to get his hand on that ball and smack it down. There's no way he was going to intercept it, but just a great play by that defender. Because he bit on the play action, Tua thinks, oh, I got it. And we'll look at it from another angle. Right? This is who we're looking at, 56 here. In the box. This is where he's going to throw the ball. Has him. Just gets up there. Just look at that. If not, that's a touchdown. Just gets his hand out. You just got to give it to 56. Great play by 56. Tua tried to get the ball over him. Not even, because, again, he looked like he was coming in to stop the run. To get it to Gesicki, couldn't. We end up kicking the field goal there. 9-3. Let me show you the Robert Hunt play. So here's the Robert Hunt play. It's supposed to be a screen here to Myles Gaskin. The defender stops it. Robert Hunt decides to catch it. And tries to get the touchdown. And I will say this, by him doing that, for one, it was not going to be intercepted. Some people thought he saved an interception. He wasn't going to catch that. But it gave us an extra down because it was a penalty. So we got an extra down. If not, it would have been 4th down. You would just kick the field goal. But he didn't need to do that. But it was funny he did. A memorable moment. Should be play of the year. Hilarious. We'll watch it one more time. Lands on his head. Funny. But yeah. Then we kick the field goal because this play doesn't work out. Up 9-3. So here's the fumble 6. Scoop and score. Whatever you want to call it. And again, we're sending that 0 blitz. And a lot of times when you send this type of pressure and your guys are this far off, my voice is cracking, you're just going to want to, just go with your midget. You want to run a slant on the inside. And that's what they do. They run Sammy Watkins with a slant across the middle. But our boy Xavier Howard, it's like, nah, I'm good. Bites on it, punches the ball out, and picks it up. And there he goes with blocking in front of him. Coleman taking out Lamar Jackson, comes back inside, just touchdown. I honestly think if he didn't score on this play, it might have been a different game because our offense was having such a hard time scoring. But look at the blocking, look at the patience, bouncing it back to the inside, blocking, horrible tackle by Lamar Jackson, touchdown. I honestly think this is what turned the game. This touchdown here, giving us the lead of 15-3 because we tried to go for 2, didn't get it, really helped us with the game. Look at all you beautiful human beings celebrating up there. So this is the sack fumble that if you guys are watching the live stream, I was like, Liam Eichenberg, you're a beautiful human being because he gets the ball back. If not getting the ball back, the Ravens would have had the ball on our 43, 44. But I know that calling him a beautiful human being is kind of counterproductive because he's the reason that the sack happened. And you'll see here, it's going to be play action and just even over here. Like, who are you blocking? Why is no one going to block him? What good is that going to do if no one's blocking him? What good is that going to do if 1, 2, 3, 4 are blocking 2? And you just allow him to free reign. Like this is why I get on the offensive line coach, because this is what you should be taught. This is fundamentals. This is blocking schemes. It's just horrible. What is this going to do? And it's fumble, but thank God he jumps on it. But it's just horrible blocking, especially when you have 3 guys just standing there. This offensive line's bad. This is the play that well, I will say this. Before this, it was 3rd down. They had the ball on their own 5. And then there was the Jerome Baker roughing the passer, which was roughing the passer. I'm not upset about the Jerome Baker roughing the passer because regardless if Lamar Jackson jumped, he grabbed him, and then he drove him into the ground. If he would have just grabbed him and then let him go and dropped him, it probably wouldn't have been roughing the passer. But the fact that he drove him into the ground and landed on him, unfortunately, he's roughing the passer. But here, this is the Javon Holland one, where he just bounces off of him. Let me zoom out so you can see the full play of just stupidity of roughing the passer. Like, this man here should be fired. That's not roughing the passer. Regardless of how many yards he got, it continued. They gave him 15 more. Just a bad call. Touchdown. That gave him some type of hope and life in the game. And somebody in the stands or something must have had a whistle. For the people that were at the game, and if you were sitting in this end zone, did you hear a whistle? Because they just stopped. Watch Eric Rowe. He just stops. And he's looking around like someone blew a whistle. Look at it from another angle. Right? He's covered. And then he just stops. And he's like, if you were at the game and you're in that end zone, did you hear a whistle? Because I need to know now. And the final play we're going to talk about is Albert Wilson over here. He's going to come around and essentially pull a wheel route. And it's just blown coverage again. 2 times in one game. Your secondary needs some help. That's why they tried to trade for Xavier Howard. But Albert Wilson is going to come around. I think they're playing zone. And Tua notices right away. Just right away, he notices. Just dumps it right to him. I wish he was faster. That would have been we eventually do get the touchdown, though. But we'll look at it from the other angle, and then that's going to be it. He just knew right away. Going to have Wilson come across. Just. If that's Jalen Waddle, it's a touchdown. I don't understand why they're not running these plays with Jalen Waddle. That's what I got for you in this fantastic game that we got to watch. If the defense plays like this for the rest of the year, there's a lot of very winnable games. And with our bye being in another 3 weeks, and then we have a 4-game stretch, there's a very good possibility. I'm not predicting things, but there's a very good possibility we can be 7-7 going to that Monday night game against the Saints. So the defense needs to continue to play like this. The offense needs to pick it up and score more than 3 points or 6 points in the first half, because then you give your defense more of a cushion, more of ability to play more aggressive. But if the defense keeps playing like this, and if the offense can play like they did against the Atlanta Falcons, it's a good possibility. I'm not going to say anything I want to jinx us, but this is the start of something really cool, and let's hope it continues. But other than that, guys, like usual, stay classy and fins up.